All right. Welcome to the Mastermind Call. It is February 18th. We just had such a great coaching call. I didn't want to get off. So that was kind of a difficult one. Tiffany had such a great question right at the end. We could have gone on for a half hour on that, but lots to talk about today. And the first thing we want to do is a big celebration. I'm going to let Lisa unmute and do the honors.
Yes, so excited to announce our fourth millionaire on our team, Lori Olson. Yay! So exciting. We knew it was coming, and what makes it even sweeter was that there's a week and a half left for her, that she needed to do this to earn Top Achievers, that her invitation to Top Achievers. So excited. Congratulations, Lori.
Lori, I know you've been under the weather, but I really want you to share, how does it feel to be Isagenix millionaire?
Like, what's 7, right? I think.
What was that?
What? I said 287.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was, I just have to say, it was amazing how you guys were. I mean, my page is still, people are still posting about it today. And that's what blows me away the most, I guess, is just like, you guys were absolutely amazing. Amazing. Just, I was honored that you guys were proud to share that accomplishment. So many people on my team and even not directly tied to me were like commenting. I mean, my God, how many times can you comment? Congratulations. I mean, they're like on all these different people. So thank you. I appreciate it. I'm excited to be honest with you, I'm most excited about what's to come and us moving faster and showing people how to get there quicker and being more duplicatable and having more simplicity. But, I don't know. I don't have anything to say to this group. I'm preaching to the choir that it's really just consistency. I would say the biggest thing is you have to be willing to try new things. You absolutely can't worry about what other people are doing, if people are going to approve, if you're going to hurt. You have to do what you believe is best for yourself, your business, and your team. And sometimes it's going to work out, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're going to do things that don't even, you'll feel like you didn't even need to have done them, but like it's just all part of the process. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably.
I think you do a beautiful job of that. You are definitely one of those leaders that you're always ready to change things up and make things better and adjust. And, that's such a big Tony Robbins thing. If what you're doing isn't working, you've got to change your approach. And you definitely epitomize that. Is that the way I want to say that? Epitomize that? Scott would be laughing at me if that's wrong right now. He's not here. Did I say it right?
Well, it's hard because I like to have guidelines. I want to have a system. I want something to follow that works. But, in Isagenix, I think what we've realized is that Isagenix is just has such amazing entrepreneurs that no one's going to do everything. They have such brilliant minds beyond anything that I could imagine being involved with. So, just find more people, get to know more people, and mastermind with more people.
That's great.
Thank you all, though.
We're all so proud of you, and congratulations. And you're really inspiring people that, really want this for themselves, that if they stay consistent and they work hard enough, they can do this too. And that's what we want to get across. I feel like, sometimes people look at us and they people that maybe aren't in the business, and they think maybe we're being boastful when we talk a lot about stuff like this. And you can't worry about that, because what we want to do is inspire people that they can do this too. If they're willing to work hard enough, long enough, and stay consistent, they'll be able to do this too. Will it happen for everybody? No, because most people aren't willing to do that. Most people are not willing to work this hard for this long in order to see this through. So we really want to set it up. Yeah, Randy?
Yeah, and I just want to point out that, I think it's awesome that you made this achievement, Lori, but I remember the conversations that you had, and we all have. Can we really do this? Can we make it in this business? And I think we all start out that way. And look at the leaders that we have here, and 3 of them were millionaires. So, yeah,
4.
It can be done. Well, there's 3 here.
Erica.
She's not on here.
Yeah, but within the team.
Here we are again. So anyway, I just want to point out that, it's doable. You just got to do the work.
That's right.
Congrats.
Yeah, I think it's just hard for people to sit down and put some effort in every day. I mean, too many days just go by that, and every day is not like, sometimes the podcasts I listen to, I sometimes think, oh my God, I don't have the tenacity to pound out hours and hours and hours and hours every single day like I envision every successful person doing. And I was listening to Chris and Lori Harder, and they're like, you really only can have one, maybe two things on your list each day that you're going to really get done, because people don't have more than a couple of hours of solid focus a day. And I remember thinking, really? Oh my God, that is so relieving to me. Thinking that I needed to put in, 8 to 10 nonstop. I just didn't know how people could be productive that long. So
and when I do 8 to 10 hours, it's usually because it's not focused and productive. When I'm at my best, it's when I give myself a limited amount of time to do one specific thing. Susan and I were just talking about this morning. I was listening to Rachel Hollis. I haven't watched the documentary yet. I know it's like free on Amazon Prime. So if you're an Amazon Prime member and you haven't seen it yet, it's there to watch. But she shared a snippet from it, and like a 30-minute snippet. And she talked about how we need to be focused on one thing. And Susan was sharing, she's reading the book, The One Thing, which I listened to the audio on that too. And it's so true. When our mind is going in a million different places, we are not focused on the one thing that we really want to be focused on. So really, being laser focused on that one thing we're seeking. So anyway, we could go on all day. Lori, when you're well, I really would love to interview you in ISA for Wealth, do a special call so that you can share how you did it, and maybe share this message with the whole team so you can give hope and inspire the whole team. So you let me know when you're 100%. All right. Next up, I wondered if anyone would be willing to give an update on the Nourished in 19 group and the gut health challenge going on. Anyone on that would be willing to share how that's going?
I can. We have just, most of you are in there, and several posts going up every single day, just revolving around gut health, and already having people saying they've noticed a difference in a few days using the products. So, and a lot of people learning, I think mainly it's just people really, myself included, from the stuff that Kelly shared, learning a lot about how powerful the gut is and why we need to take care of it much better. So I think it's great that we did it, because I think IsoBiome will definitely be one of those sticky products that people will keep in their auto ship. Mm-hmm. And that's the goal, is keep those auto ships on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Speaking of that, I'm going to ask Lisa to share. How many of you guys have heard about the Forever Pack? Several of you. Okay. For those of you that haven't heard about it, it is a pack that Dave MacArthur, Mechanic to Millionaire, has built his business on the last several years. Lisa can tell you more than me. And it's kind of a buzz right now. And the reason I wanted to bring it up is there's people on both sides of this, and we're gonna be neutral here. Some of you are hearing about it for the very first time, but Lisa, Kelly, I know there's a few people that are really well versed in it. There's about 5.5 hours of video training on it, and these guys have listened to it all, and they're super excited about it. And I think, what I want you guys to do is be open. They're going to share a little bit about it. Lisa's going to share for me a little bit about it, and then we can certainly take any questions. We talked with Lori about being open to change, and I'm not at all ready to change my whole business. I'm not telling you guys. I'm listening to this, learning about it, and I'm ready to embrace it a little bit, for sure. I'm not ready to change my whole business. So I want you guys to know my stance is I think this could be a really helpful in some ways. I really like, and I'm going to let Lisa explain it, and I'll give my 2 cents at the end, but I want you to be open and listen to it, just because I think there is some benefits to it. And then you guys get to make your own decision how you want to go with it. This is the beauty of this business, is it is your business. And if things are broken, you got to look at different ways to fix it. If it's not broken, keep doing what you're doing. I mean, so many of you are having great success with what you're doing already. Selling value packs is your thing, getting double PIBs, retention, it's duplicating. And I've got people that it's really, really working well for. And then I've got some people that have been struggling. So I wanted Lisa to share, because she is definitely well-versed in all of the training that's out there. She shared some of the videos with me that I've been watching over the weekend. So Lisa, if you wouldn't mind unmuting and sharing a little bit, kind of what made you look at this. And I know you were a little hesitant at first too, so share with everybody.
So thank you, Lori, for that segue of you. If what you're doing isn't working, you have to try something new. That was perfect, and she didn't know I was going to share this. I won't get into the detail that I did on my weekend training that I did with my team, but just kind of leading with, I'm one of those people that doesn't like change. From my last company that I know several of us were with, there was a huge change in it, and we went from carrying inventory to going no inventory, and I was like probably one of the last ones, kicking and screaming, dragging my feet, didn't want to do it. Ended up being the best decision ever because I was open to giving it a try. And so there's no hiding that this past year has been down for a lot of us. And, my team has really been looking for other streams of income, some of them. And we just needed something to change and find a solution. And things weren't duplicating. That was the number one thing. I can enroll people on value packs. A lot of my top leaders can enroll people on our value. Everyone here can enroll people on value packs, but what was not happening was the duplication within my team. Yeah, some do, but for the majority, it's very overwhelming for them to do what we do, despite the training, the coaching, and all that. So I was open to learning more. A couple weeks ago, it was brought up on a Team Isogenics call that a friend of mine privately messaged me during this call, because we were talking about different business strategies, and we were saying how some of our teams were flat this past year. And she messaged me and she said, hey, I think we need to talk because I have something that has been working really great with my team. And so I called her the next day and she told me, have you heard of the Forever Pack? And I said, I heard about it, but I don't really know too much about it. She goes, well, let me tell you, I've recently started incorporating promoting the Forever Pack for the people that are not active anymore, terminated, to kind of get a foot back in the door. They had great success before, trying to revisit isogenics with just a couple products, just the shakes and the isogenesis. So that's kind of how it kind of got started with me. And I said, that's actually a good idea. Maybe I'll start sharing that with those terminated people. And once I started listening to some of the videos, my thought process was changing. And so, yes, trying not to get into too much, but yes, I am changing the way that I'm approaching some of my terminated people, introducing the Forever Pack to these people, because there are some benefit in terms of it's affordable, more affordable than getting those past people back on a pack. You can reintroduce just like I say, coming back with the shakes and the isogenesis. They're finding that the people are staying on auto ship. And that's the other thing, when people are coming in with value packs, they're not always staying on auto ship. Sometimes they can get overwhelmed. Again, I'm not putting the value pack aside. I'm not saying don't lead with what you've been doing. If what you're doing is working, then stay with it. This is not for you. It could be for people on your team that might be struggling with getting people on board, and yes, there's pros and cons, there's no PIDs, because it's a pack, but not an isogenics pack. It's one that was developed by Dave MacArthur. And he actually shared that he made his first million. It's funny, Lori beat him, but made his first million it took him 6 years to earn his first million. And then in his next 7 years, he earned $9 million, all with the Forever Pack, 2,500 of which were just from PIBs. So I get the upfront quick cash with the promotions and the PIBs and all that too, but also you have to think about long-term residual income. So, it's kind of like our old company. Do you want to go for that quick sell of that beer bread, or go to try to book a party for that residual? That's kind of the way I look at it. So nothing wrong with getting that quick upfront cash, because I know people need that. But this is just another way that I think can be very duplicatable within your organization, because it's simple, it's affordable, and it's not as involved in terms of there's coaching, but not as much coaching of the products. I'm not saying to eliminate coaching. I'm just saying there's not as much coaching because you're only dealing with 2 products. I'm just looking at my notes to see if easier to promote people to consultant, honestly, when you're sharing it and duplicating, getting to 108 BVs, that's the BV amount on the Forever Pack. So, 108 BV to get to consultant is very duplicatable in that sense, in terms of being able to create more consultants too. And this is something I've also heard in the past, but it never really clicked until I started looking into this week. Jimmy Smith has always said, what's the most important isogenics product? It's not a product per se. 100 BVs. And that really stuck to me this week. And I never really thought about it until this week when he said that. And so that's what it really boils down to. That 100 BV sets you free. You know, keeping them on auto ship. That's what they're finding. These people that have, yes, it's a new thing and it's created so much, well, not a new thing. In Dave's team, it's not new, but I don't know really what recently got it like into huge momentum, but it's there, similar to what Isopro and the Belly Buster, what happened when everyone started getting on the Belly Buster wagon and Isopro sold out. Well, Isogenesis is now sold out. So obviously it's creating waves and people are catching on to it. Not sure why it took this long. I don't know, but that's my approach. And my team that I shared it with on Saturday, they are so excited. They were praying for something simple like this. And again, not that what we were doing, I'm not saying not to switch things up and completely change your business. I know I'm doing things differently going forward, but if what you like, what you're doing is working, stick with it. Because like Cindy said, at the end of the day, you can decide how you run your business. So,
right. So a couple quick things. One, you know, what excites me about this is they have a script to go back to people that are either terminated or not ordering. And I think this would be a really great way to get them back ordering products again. So that really, really excites me. What I have a little bit of hesitancy around this, and Lisa and I had a conversation before this call, because corporate hasn't embrace this. So even though it's been very successful for Dave's team, you know, I know he spoke at a Super Saturday this weekend, but it hasn't been on a New Year's kickoff stage or a celebration stage or anything like that. So I have a little bit of hesitancy there, and I need to be honest with you about that. So I think, you know, what we're going to do is we're going to post when we get this call recorded. Lisa's going to share the videos that you guys can watch, which actually give you access to Dave MacArthur's website with a code so you can watch for yourself and learn. And this might be something that all you simply want to do is embrace it for past customers. That may be all you do with it. Some of you may be like, you know, the other thing I thought that could be good with this is, you know, every once in a while I do come across people who can't afford the value pack, who really, really want to do this. Like, you know, I'm thinking of this one girl right now who has been saving her money for a month to order. She had it in her head she wanted the premium pack, and it's been a month. She's saving her money for that. So this might be a good way to get her started a little bit quicker, you know, things like that. So there's definitely some pros. Anyone have questions or anything you want to ask before we move on to something else?
Just a little tip, because there are going to be questions if this is the first time you're hearing about it and you're going to ask, well, Isogenesis is sold out. What are you doing?
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
We stressed it last night too. We had a call last night. You really need to watch the videos to embrace this whole thing, but we're still promoting the Isogenesis with the shakes, but for now, getting them on 4 shakes. Not 4 shakes, not 2 shakes in Ionics, not Ionics or shakes in Isobiome, because that defeats the purpose of the simplicity and the 2 products, because the video you send your prospects to only talks about 2 products. So once you start incorporating other products, it confuses the mind, you know? So we are sticking with enrolling in 4 shakes. And so backing up when I said that I don't know if I said that with you. Oh, I said that for you earlier on the call. In my 6 years, I have never enrolled anybody on a non-system until Friday. I enrolled my first person. I can't even tell you how easy and freeing and what a relief it was. She actually came in saying, I'm just interested in the shakes. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even have to say, oh, well, you really should think about, here are the reasons why I think you should start it on a system. I took her order. Like, it was like amazing, and it's just freeing to me, because I have been so stuck in my system. And I know we need to meet people where they are, and this is a sign for me that I'm meeting people where they are, and even if it shakes, that's great. So so that's the thing about Isogenesis being sold out.
Yes. Okay. I know one question for concern that people, if they're not asking it, I'm sure they're thinking it, if they haven't heard it before, is how will people get the results that we're used to? Like when we get people on a value pack and they're doing the vitamins and the shakes and the cleanse and the Ionics, we see immediate, quick, awesome results. So can you address that, Lisa?
Yes, they actually do address it. So let me back up too. So after those videos, there's all those videos to watch, but there's also it's called Forever University. It's a Facebook page I honestly think because there's only, well, I think there's 500 team members in now, which is kind of crazy since Dave has so many, but I think it was recently started in December. And because I was trying to go back to see original posts, and in there they really address that as well, because that was my concern. If someone has weight to lose, are they still putting them on this system? Yes, they are, because there are testimonials of people sharing, I've only been doing 1 shake a day. And yes, you need to still, obviously, if people are doing 1 shake a day, they can't go continue their Burger King and McDonald's habits, right? Because that's not going to work. So there is some coaching on the healthy meals throughout the day, obviously. So, but yes, to answer your question, people are still seeing results. And the thing that is key is that starting on the Forever Pack, then adding them to a product page, for instance, they're exposed to these products, and then they're finding out about cleansing and this. So what Dave has found is that people don't always just start on the Forever Pack. Sometimes they're adding on other stuff, definitely even the second month going forward, they're adding other products into their shopping cart. So just because they're not cleansing the first month doesn't mean they'll never cleanse ever. So they are still seeing results in weight loss and energy and all of that, because there's a Forever University Facebook page, and then there's a Forever University testimonial page where I just discovered last night that that's where I'm going to grab some testimonials from, because we've all started on systems. I don't think anyone here just started on isogenesis or shakes. Well, Susan was eye cream, right? So, but you didn't experience weight loss with that. But so yeah, that's the thing, because it's like, I don't know what to expect if I have never just started on isogenesis, for instance, because we didn't come in that way. But to answer your question, they are still putting people that need to lose weight loss on that pack, because if anything, those people that need to lose a lot of weight, what they need to do, I need to take my ionics, I need to take a natural, etc., 2 shakes, the snacks have to be this. It can be very overwhelming to that person. And so just to kind of start the healthy habit of 1 shake a day is a great start. And people do have, I have one guy on my team that still hasn't cleansed in 5 years, and he's maintained his weight loss of 40 pounds. And he's never cleansed. So, and he does only 1 to 2 shakes a day. So there are those testimonials out there.
Okay, Ann, go ahead.
All right, so I'm not going to nerd out. I think what the bottom line is what we talked about last week. You're giving Isogenics a facelift, right? We're making it with the current, with the times, with the economy, with whatever. That's what this is really doing. Just like the gut health, we're just showing people that there's more than one way. Now to counter it, and I'm all for whatever people start with, they start with. But to counter it, I know PK always talks about the people that start in the bigger systems have the most retention. And he also said, really, the goal of Isogenics is to reinvent your relationship with food. Those are 2 of PK's things he repeats. I'm not against any of this by any means. I think whatever works for the body, for the person is fantastic. But when it comes down to it, like guaranteed in the next year or so, some other big leader is going to make a gut support thing, and they're going to go crazy with the isobiome. Watch it. It's going to, like, now they're just like, we're just touching the waters. It'll become crazy later on, and we'll be sold out of that product, because Isogenics is an amazing health company, right? We have a ton of solutions. So it's just, I think it's just reinventing another way to show people that they can use these products and benefit.
Yeah. I think when you watch the videos, we've all not realized how freaking amazing the isogenesis is. And the isogenesis is something different that Isogenics has proprietary than anything anywhere in the world. You can get a probiotic other places, you can get all of these things, but it is so unique. And so, like, I saw people saying, what if you're under 35? I mean, I remember thinking, you guys, if they watch the video, they will want the product. Everyone needs healthy telomeres. And no one would want to risk that, really. I mean, I'm like wanting to I'm like, everything's back ordered. I'm totally sad about it, and I've been using the product. So I feel like way more loyal customer. So I think it's someone, even when I talked to Trudy Maples, she said it's like our whitening toothpaste product that is a standalone product that we've kind of been, you know, and the sad thing is too many people haven't even experienced isogenesis to know what it can do, because only if they get the value pack, most likely, and then we don't even talk about it, so they never get there.
And Lori, I also want to comment, kind of piggybacking off of you. Dave does such a beautiful job in the 22-minute video explaining the science that for those of us that aren't an Ann, where we have science in our wheelhouse and have that research and info, like, and he says it, he makes science look sexy. I mean, you watch the videos and it's 11 minutes on isogenesis and 11 minutes on nutrition and the lack of nutrition in our food today. he does the work so beautifully that it makes it even more duplicatable. And I thought that was one of the things that excited me the most.
And just tag on to that is that, watch the videos and make up your own mind. But I highly encourage you to watch the videos.
Randy, did you think it was sexy too?
Oh, baby. Let me tell you. I mean, look at this. I'm 97 years old. Come on.
That's what I'm going to have you share on in Columbus too, Randy. Oh, Kelly, were you going to say something?
Yeah. I think it's just about simplifying things and having a duplicatable system. So having people start, even especially people that have a lot of weight to lose and are not healthy habits at all, it's overwhelming. I've had so many people that are so overwhelmed with everything in the pack that it takes them a month to start, and they never, like, it's just a lot. So having them start with just 2 products, they're going to have amazing results. And then that next month, they might do the whole system, but they decide that on their own. It's just a different feel. Like I did my first forever, well, just the 4 shakes on Friday, but it was one of my friends that I could have signed her on a system, but I'm doing this. So, we did it. She did the 4 shakes before she left. She's like, all right, how do I go order more products? Like I've never had that before. And it's not that in one of the videos, Dave talks about way back when he started this, he went to corporate and said, can I do this? And they were saying, you can run your business however you want. So it's not that corporate isn't supporting it. It's just, at the end of the day, so many, and I think why we're hearing about it now is because so many people needed a change in their business. And as you watch the videos, Jill Birth talks about it. And, we got to do something different because so many people are struggling right now. And there's people that can be so hugely impacted by just our shakes and the isogenesis. And then not just physically, but financially, like it's a completely different thought process. So I think everybody's is a little, not sure in the beginning, but I spent all last week watching videos, probably 10, 12 hours of videos. And it makes a lot of sense. So watch the videos for everybody that's just learning about it now.
And we'll post all of them.
They don't really talk. I know Lisa said there's a little product coaching, and you may have that, but I mean, he pretty much talks about no product coaching, and not because he's trying to desert people, just hasn't needed to at all, because it's immediately a conversation. And they do suggest you have a either 3-way call right when they order or after, so that the leader can ask the right questions, like will you share this if you like this product, and just very few little simple questions. And then that's when it comes down to that piece of send the video, sign them up. People don't have a lot of questions, so I think that what excites me is I get to work with people on building their businesses, and the people who don't want to build their business, I don't need to do a whole lot of anything else with.
Lori, but they're still going to love it. They're still going to be happy product users that are using it forever because it's so easy.
Mm-hmm. Lori, does it address, I was just thinking mathematically, I listen to the videos and I see, pros and cons. I see a lot of pros. I'm not against it. I think it's, a great combination, but like, for example, when you get someone started, they start enrolling people with whatever they got started with, right? So say we get people started on the Forever Pack, then, and they want to do the business, it's going to be a while, depending on where they're placed, for them to really be cycling or earning much income. Like, do they address that at all? And I haven't watched everything.
Yeah, the cool thing is he points out that and I did finally get to this one, at Manager, they can still make $500 hitting Crystal Manager. So they become consultant, make $50. They get $100 for each consultant that they build, which can happen really easily. And then the $250 bonus.
Cycling will
but they only invested less than $200 instead of investing $600 to try and make $900. Because in order to make $900 and you share, they share, repeat, they have to sell value packs. That doesn't happen for most people.
And people are enrolled, like Laura St. John enrolled 45 people. I mean, there's people that are enrolling 20, 30 people.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he talks a lot about this, Don, the 45-minute presentation. What Jimmy, like the power of 2, the power of 3, the power of 4, the power of 5. So, you know, it's just a different, the price point's under $200. So you're going to enroll a lot more people. Yes, you know, if it's only you enrolling people and you're not duplicating, yeah, it's going to take a while. But if you're duplicating, and he talks about all that you can, you know, the PIBs are great, but PIB is a JOB. You're getting it one time. When you teach your people how to share and just, you know, keep duplicating that system, and it can make a big impact.
Yeah, that was a concern that I had, Susan, about this. You're not going to cycle as much because, you know, we have that value pack of, you know, over 300 BVs in our head. But the thing is, more people would be enrolling, even if it's 108 BV. And who's to say they're not adding on other products too? But you're going to get more people doing that. I'd rather have, honestly, 10 to 15 people enroll in that than 3 people on value packs in the month that fall off. And that if this duplicates, that is what I want to see, the duplication within our team. And I think it is very duplicatable the way they have it laid out.
On top of that, I mean, it's easier to maintain those people, keep them in as retention, because it's only $175 a month. So you have those people, maybe they come in on the Forever Pack, but they stay, and then they start adding on other products. They still use the tools. They still use you share, they share. They still use the new team member checklist. They've just modified things a little bit. And I think it's much more attractive to people and easier to duplicate than somebody trying to go in and do a presentation about the natural accelerator, the shakes, the ionics, the cleanse. It's complicated, and a lot of people don't want to do it and embarrassed and scared to do it.
What is the total cost with the membership?
$200.
$200?
It'll vary a little bit depending if you have tax or not. But for me,
203 in Massachusetts. After the first month, it drops down to 175. So,
yeah.
Hashtag stupid easy.
And if any of you are freaking out right now, please know it's okay. Like if you're hearing this for the first time and you're like, you know, listen, you watch the videos, and it's, you know, I'm not 100% all in on this yet myself, guys. I'm just learning about this now, and I'd heard about it. I've had a couple people reach out to me, other top leaders, saying, hey, what do you think of this? And so I reached out to a couple of my friends to see what they're thinking, and they're not changing their whole entire business and leading with the Forever Pack, but they're embracing it a little bit because they want to make sure that they're retaining people. They want to make sure this is a great way to reach back out to people. So, you know, so I'm not 100%. I still have a little bit of concerns myself, all the same concerns that you've heard these people have. You're hearing from people that are super fired up right now. They've already done their homework. They've already watched the videos. They're already embracing this. So if you're squirming at all, please know you're not alone. And just keep in mind, this is how, you know, we felt with our last company when we went no inventory. It was how we felt when Lori first came to me about inviting prospects to HHP. I'm not kidding you. I was in a funk for like a week over it. It was ridiculous. And I look back now and I can almost laugh about it. And it wasn't so much that I wasn't willing to change. I was so worried about freaking everybody out on our team. And it took me such a long time. And I can't even tell you how many conversations we had to have until I was like, okay, I can do this. And what a blessing HHP has been. So it's one of those things when Lisa reached out to me and then Kelly reached out to me, I thought, you know what? As a leader, I need to be open. And this is how we all have to be, because we're all leaders, not just me. You know, I need to be open. I want to research this myself, get a feel on it. And the bottom line is, it's our businesses. We do not all have to embrace this. We do not all have to be on the same page as this. You know, PK is still my mentor, and I know he's not a huge fan of this. So like, there's going to be more talks and conversations for me, more research on my end. I actually do want to hear, I want to hear from corporate. I want to know what they think about this. So I have made a couple contacts on that. So I'll keep in touch with you on this. I just want to make sure you all know, if you're nervous and you have questions and concerns, please know you're not alone. And certainly this isn't going to be jammed down anyone's throat. This is something that if you're open to and you want to learn about, we're going to post all of the links. So, and then certainly we can have conversations. So if you have questions, you might want to reach out to some of these folks that are already doing it and feeling very, very excited about it, because they're probably going to be the perfect people to answer questions.
Cindy, I have a question, and that's because the isogenesis is sold out, which really bums me out because I'm upping mine for my Lyme. And so I just didn't even realize that had happened. So anyway, but what are you guys that are going to go full force with this going to do right now? So you're just going to...
4 canisters of shake. So
nothing else. Just drink
keep it simple. That's what Lenny Evans did a live in the Forever University group and said, don't add. Well, again, he says you can do whatever you want, but they're just doing the shake to keep it simple. People do 2 shakes a day, and then once it's back in stock, they said hopefully the end of March. I'm kind of hoping before that, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah, and
it's so funny. I've had the mindset always of, people will have a better experience. Like, I would never give up my Ionic Supreme. And I have a few people that I'm working with right now that price is an issue, and they're holding off, waiting for tax returns or whatever. And, I've always felt like, but hey, I know that, you're like my daughter, except for the performance products, she does cleanse, but mainly she's lost over 40 pounds since November, drinking 1 to 2 shakes a day.
Right. It's so powerful. And the thing of it is, what they say is, it's not like people are, because I feel the same way about my Ionics, but here's the thing. They're going to fall in love with these 2 products, and on their own, they're going to go, like they said, people will call them and be like, oh my gosh, I just did a cleanse day. It wasn't hard. And they didn't need you to go to drag them through it. And they're going to add all of these products because they love it. They're going to keep adding. And like a lot of people end up doing a full system, but they're doing the oils, and on their own, they're adding all these things, and
so that's why HHP will be even more integral for us to really be talking about all the other products.
Because they still talk about, they talk about all the products big time. Yeah. Once you get them started, they don't overwhelm people. They don't add things. They literally just do these 2 products, and right now just the shakes, and then let them, once they create the habit. But yeah, I mean, I started my friend last month on shakes. Their whole family's drinking shakes, and she's calling me like, what's this? What's that? And they're having amazing results. They feel so good, and there's a lot of power in.
If Cindy and anyone else who's feeling hesitant decides to do this, we can really blow it up when we start talking about the Forever Pack and HHP. You'll have so many prospects that will come around, and it'll be a lot easier for everyone. And we can ongoing being like, you ready to get started? This is the video you watch. These are the only 2 products that you need. Get in touch with the person who added you. And that could be like revolving posts. So I know that some people may hold off. Like when you have someone interested now, you may hold off on putting them in HHP to not confuse them, because there's going to be so many other products in there. But you'd want to add them immediately after. But right now we have so many prospects in there already that, I mean, I won't put anything in there, since I know what happens when I do things and Cindy gets all upset and nervous. I've been through that before, so I'll wait. But I do think it would be big and awesome. We're out of isogenesis anyway, but still the video would be good.
And then my one other question, has anyone ever done when I started, even though I got an eye cream, I did set my husband up on a President's Pack or Value Pack, whatever you call it now, and I used all the products. So I'm afraid to take any products away. I'm just wondering the experience someone's going to get using the isogenesis, like, are they going to feel different? Are they going to feel like that's a product they need? Or is the whole premise that they just learn about the product and feel like they need it? or are they actually going to feel something different?
I addressed that. Yeah, you might not have heard that.
I listen to everything.
There's so many, they have, like in some of the videos, they talk about a little non-compliantly how like the amazing results that people are having. And isogenesis, because it's dealing with our cells, it runs the gamut of like so many different things. But yes, the things that people are saying in a month from just the isogenesis and the shakes.
Yeah, and also, I don't know if you guys remember this, but 2013, after Celebration, for those that were in back then, I met Bill Andrews in the airport, and I invited him to do a team call, because for those that don't, he was all the research, the Nobel Prize winning research on isogenesis basically came from him to help develop isogenesis. Then it was product B. He got on a team call with me, and he's a ultra marathoner, Bill Andrews, and I also talked to him at Celebration saying, I know we take, we're instructed to take 4 a day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. Of course, they come in our packets. Just curious, do you take more than the recommended dose? And he said, yes. And I said, well, how many? And he basically, because he's trying to be kind of compliant and not really come out and tell me, I had to almost do sign language with him to get it out of him and get his facial expressions to agree with the amount and the quantity. So I see everyone sitting down. He takes 12 a day of isogenesis. That he's saying it helps with his joints, with running and endurance. So you get again, like you said, we never came in just on product B or isogenesis. So you don't, and I wouldn't want to stop everything and try just isogenesis for a month to see what would happen, obviously. But there are a lot of different benefits you can expect from energy. I mean, people even were saying on the isogenesis, the testimonial page, they noticed a difference in like 2 days with their energy just from using isogenesis. So,
well, you're functioning at a younger, it's helping you feel, it's oh my God, I can't talk. Anyway, so telomere health is obviously about youth. So, all of the things that people have problems with are degenerative things that happen because mostly of age, and they may have aged faster because of their lifestyle and how their telomeres, are. Even weight gain. So,
back in 2014, I think it was, Jody and I came back from one of either Celebration or NYKO, and we were talking to a gentleman that was an isogenics consultant also. And he had built his business on isogenesis, just product B. That's all he talked about. And his team was the same way. And he was a 6-figure earner.
He had the big check on the airplane. That's how the conversation started.
Just on product B. That's how powerful that was. And he went through his list of ailments that he had recovered from and benefited from product B.
Was his name Dennis?
I don't remember.
It was so long ago.
I bet you. Oh my God. Okay.
But it was astounding to hear the list of ailments and the benefits that he received from the product. So that's how important isogenesis is.
And I'm going to add in there, and I know this is non-compliant, but since we're in the group, I'm going to say it. My mom has macular degeneration, and she met with Dr. Rhodes after a Super Saturday, and he told her to up her product B, and I think she takes 8 a day, and her macular degeneration is reversing. And our eye doctor is on our team, and she is speechless. She said in her 10, 15 years of being an eye doctor, she has never, ever seen this happen.
That doesn't happen.
Wow.
So I think we underestimate the power of that product, and that we have the patent on it and you can't get it anywhere else.
So has anyone said when we're supposed to be getting it back?
End of March, they're saying.
Right. That's still not guaranteed. We'll probably find out on that. Travis will probably share more.
Lenny said in one of the videos that he was talking with corporate, and they already have like a 10 million order in, and they ordered another one. So it's definitely like they're on it. They know about, obviously they know about the Forever Pack now, for sure. But yeah,
Okay. I did see an update today, but I don't think they addressed that. They did tell us that Julie Urovic is on the team call tonight, the corporate call at 8 o'clock tonight. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And then when we hear updates, we'll certainly pass them on.
There's also the new social media templates available too. That was in that message as well. So
awesome. Awesome. All right. Are we good? Any other questions or comments?
The shake.
Oh, did we not talk about it? I'm confusing my coaching call with this one. Did we not bring it up? All right. So Isoline Pro shake in a canister. We haven't had a new Isoline Pro since strawberry. So this is super exciting. And it is caramel latte. It's not salted caramel. So the salt part is not going to be in there. So it's not going to taste the same as a scoop of salted caramel and a scoop of mocha. It's going to have a different flavor to it. I imagine it'll be a little bit sweeter. So I was sharing on my coaching calls with people, a lot of people salted, like the caramel latte thing. That is one of the most popular drinks at a Starbucks or a Dunkin' Donuts or anything like that. And a lot of people love that. When I was talking about it in my coaching call, little Megan's like, she's not a caramel fan and she's not a mocha fan. So this may not be for you, but how I address this with all the people that I'm coaching is, if this might not be your favorite thing, just like we used to say in the Tastefully Simple days, don't yuck someone else's yum. Caramel latte is a very, very popular flavor with tons and tons of people. So I plan on, today is the day I am sending my emails out. I'm going to hit them up today. The only thing we're not to do today is put it on social media. Like I put it in my groups today, but they're private groups. They're closed groups. I will not post about it on social media, Instagram, Facebook until tomorrow, but I want to let my customers know because I just heard there's only 600,000 canisters of it. So usually they do a lot more. And I think because it's Isoline Pro, they didn't do as many. So I have a feeling this is going to be a quick sellout product. So we want to let our clients know today about it so they're ready to go tomorrow. Let them know that this is not going to be like salted caramel was, where it was available for a month before it finally sold out. We need to get on it. There's definitely going to have to be a sense of urgency around it. I'm sorry, I forgot to bring it up. Thanks for the reminder, Lori. I'm on so many calls, I forget what I say. All right.
So is it 2 scoops and it makes Isoline Pro?
Except that it's in the canister. It's the same equivalent. Yeah. Yep. Price is going to be the same as Isoline Pro packets.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I assume it'll be a bigger scoop. I don't know. I mean, just.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It could be 2.5 scoops. I guess did they tell us that, Lisa?
The canister looks bigger in the pictures, I think, but maybe that's just.
yeah, it's hard to tell. I don't know if there'll be 2 scoops, one
Yeah.
big scoop in there or 2. I don't know. I would guess that it'd be two. Like, why are they making a whole new scoop for it when they have the same size? I don't know. 2 scoops is my guess, but yeah, who knows actually?
Yeah. I said it as soon as I said it. I'm like, I'm not sure about that. So
it does have caffeine in it, just for those people that are caffeine sensitive. It's the equivalent to what mocha was, 30 milligrams.
Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. I know we went a little bit long today, but we had a lot to cover. So have a great week. If you have any questions, reach out. We will, as soon as I'm going to sit here and upload this. And as soon as we do, Lisa will help me, or anyone else. If you can help me get everything that they want. And I saw they wanted the Facebook group too. We'll put links to everything in here so you guys can get further educated on this. And if you have questions or concerns, just reach out. All right, guys. Have a great week.